land a fire. I don't know what happened, but I wonder how we're gonna load in here, honestly, because getting thrown into a game where it's already in progress and the enemy's already lost a cruiser. It says that we haven't lost any health though, but we do have a score, a shores there, a Bismarck, and a Balti. I'm preferably want to target that Balti. We'll see how this goes. Balti shouldn't be too interested in me. It doesn't look like she is. Yeah, she isn't interested. And really, we're using Belle for her fire chance. That's a Tirpitz. And sadly, I don't have torpedoes. The Belt's probably gonna eat a lot of those hits. Behind an island. Slow down. What we were actually trying to do is we were trying to plunging fire through the deck. And no, all I'm getting is shatters. There we go. Slowly penning. We're just looking to saturate her. Yep, there's that first fire. Oh, there's that. We'll just nice and neatly crossfire. Continue work on saturating. Mainly because she isn't interested in me, she's interested in the two battleships in front of her. Which just give us the perfect opportunity to work on continuing setting fires. And staying at this range is actually nice. 12 kilometers keeps us in range to play with most of our equipment and still keep our surveillance radar. That's a Jean Bart. I'm not going to try that. What we are going to work on is just pure saturation right now. We want to saturate this Tirpitz with fires. And traditionally Atlanta's a better fire starter, but I don't mind Belfast every now and again. What we're looking to do is actually cross over the bow. And this is where the inertia they have on PC would really come into effect. But I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about it. She's burning. I think that last one was a permafire. She's gone. There we go. Who's next? Balti's in a good position to go for. This Jean Bart though, does look really tempting to eat with fire. So I'm going to switch my turret so I'm bowing enough where I won't need to worry about anything. And the nose on this is thicker than what I can pen, so that's going to be a little bit of trouble. And she's already changed targets, which is when we go and full stop, start to shift. start slowing down more. So we sit right in our smoke screen. Ooh, Balti. And this Balti actually closing into range is beautiful. Ooh. Okay, good. Set Balti on fire. Us strafing side to side is actually working really nicely, because what we're going to do is we're just going to sit here and light this Balti on fire. Jean Bart is going to target us again. Hit the rudder. Perfect time to pop a repair. We got a Bismarck there. Jean Bart's going to keep targeting us. But what we are going to do is we're going to keep our eyes on the Bismarck. Swing tail in. Yep, there we go, perfect. And we're going to do the same thing to this Bismarck that we just did to the Tirpitz. Nope. Sorry. Jean Bart, I'm not letting you hit. Well, hit hard anyways, because that Citadel, any Citadel to me right now would be horrid. And what our entire goal is here is just to saturate this. Yeah, there's one fire. And then having IFHE, which is inertia, HE would have been really nice on console at this point, but ow. We're finally getting out of Jean Bart's. We'll try and do it anyways. Ooh, Kageto. Ooh. That Kageto just ate that alive. We're only at 35,000 damage. It's nothing real good. What I am looking for is to come across. I want to start pushing across now. That C-cap is a good position to start pushing into. Kageto got enemy Kageto, which is nice. And at tier 6, oh, that's a Monarch left. That is a tempting target. We know that Jean Bart is somewhere over there. Yeah, there she is. Pushing way out. And me not having torpedoes is a downside to not being able to aggressively push into that. Jean Bart is going to try to pop a few shots off, maybe. Oh no, she's completely ignoring me. So I'm going to put a few shells her way. Making 30.5 knots isn't a bad push. Jean Bart is really pushed into a corner here. So this is perfect to just deal with her while she's on this wall. And now ready, watch this trick. What we're going to do is turn the bow in. Eat a Citadel for it. There goes a lot of my tanking ability. Find that Monarch. She's over here. I'm no longer interested in you. I'm more interested in this juicy Monarch. And I think you're still interested in me, aren't you? Yes, you are. Working on bringing this Monarch into turret range. Start slowing down. See, sailing in course to this. I already accidentally just popped that like a dumbass. Fat finger. So yeah, we're going to continue sailing into this Monarch though. See if we can catch her. I'm actually going to start turning broadside into her. We see a Jean Bart, and we're going to relight the Jean. Oh, that Jean Bart's turret getting mangled has to hurt. See, we aren't priority target though, so we are perfectly safe to do what we're doing. And Jean Bart looks... yeah, that's black smoke, that's speed boost, which means just continue saturating and start aiming a little further ahead. Oh, a few shell snippet. Ow. Monarch has finally gotten interest in me. I am a low health target, so it does make a little bit of sense. But I am shooting broadsides, which she's expecting. And I'm probably going to go down here. Yep, I'm going down. Last 2 shells. Give me a fire. Yep, nice. She's going to instantly put it out, isn't she? No, I'm going to continue her burning. I don't know if she had popped a repair party beforehand, so she might burn for a little bit. Yeah, it looks like she's going to burn for just a little bit. 61-7. The Monarch's gone. And that's our win. Bismarck. No, the Jean Bart stole it. Ooh. Well, there's nothing I can do much about that. 173 shell hits, which is nice. 9 fires, which is kind of, eh. Let's open up the crates quickly. See what we get. Nothing really there. Nothing much. And anything better? Yeah, nothing really. First off, we should pick up... let's go and pick up the daily reward. Now you guys are probably also asking, hey Tact, why do you have so much global XP saved up? Well, I am saving up for what is currently really a controversial ship in terms of playability, the Eugen. Eugen's had her citadels raised too high up, and I think you can clearly see that when you actually take a look at the model, and that will probably end up getting fixed in the near future, making Eugen really tanky to deal with and play with altogether. But with that, let's get into some knife fights. Where's my destroyers? Knife fight with Guide would be fun, but I have a better destroyer to knife fight with in mind. Yeah, we're going on to the Fubuki. Close range knife fighting with destroyers is fun, so I don't see any problem with it. So let's just load right in. So the team comp, Moss, tier 6, another Fubuki. I'm in a very 5 and 6 heavy match anyway, so let's see how this goes. First off, speed up, pick up speed. And we're going to start off with sailing. Let's try to get in this area here and hide close to a few islands with the rest of the team. I'm going to do a little bit of scouting, which is going to allow me to start knife fighting early on. I'm not planning on using my guns much. 9 kilometers isn't much to play around with, but I do have these amazing torpedoes. Get the early spot on the Colorado.
All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
I don't see any radar on their team, so yeah, I don't see uh, any radar. I do see hydro though, so I don't think we need to be worried too much. I'm giving my team perfect spotting on this Colorado. Uh, this Colorado is, while I'm not doing any damage right now directly, I am causing them a lot of problems being a spotter for this Colorado and just hanging outside of his gun range completely. My aircraft spotting range isn't going to be. I'm not going to be hit by an aircraft spot, so I'm fine doing what I'm doing. I can probably drop one set, drop two, and drop three to prepare anything. Dropping on stuff over there, so I don't need to worry too much about that. And this isn't really much of a knife fight, is it? As it is just a standard torpedo boat game, really. This, me keeping these ships spotted though, is really nice for my team in particular. These torpedoes are probably going to get spotted and dodged, but it's not my goal to bring the guns to bear. It's more my goal to keep everyone in position to be hit and spotted. And if I run into a destroyer, then I start to knife fight. This Scharnhorst doesn't look like she's getting ready to turn out of these, though. So those are going to hurt. There's going to be four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh! Dev strike. And I'm fine doing what I'm doing here. The grounding is going to happen, but I'm going to use it to start reversing and turning bow in with my freshly reloaded torpedoes. I'm still too far forward. See, now we can track the Queen Elizabeth here. That Scharnhorst was so unexpected. I don't know if they... I know they were probably paying attention, but the stealth on that was perfect, holding. And we're going to... So, one nice thing you'll note when playing a destroyer is there's going to be a battleship on the other side of that island there. Like I predicted. It's a Bandoy, actually. Keep a spare set of torps just in case. See, now me spotting this Bandoy for the team, though, is causing her to push back behind the island. It also lets me fire my guns once. Because I'm in perfectly safe position to do what I'm doing here. Because what I'm doing is I'm actually keeping these guys pinned very clearly. They can't do much about me being where I am. And this pin here is something beautiful. Because I can just get on the other side of this island from them with no consequence whatsoever. Not even having to pop a consumable. I could go in and get closer, and I'm very well overextended, I know this. Torpedoes are reloaded, though. So, I am perfectly fine to sit here. The Bandoy is gone. See that Colorado is pushing back out. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to push ourselves into a position that's going to be a little more threatening to us. Anyways, so she'll get about 26 seconds response. And I'm going to be in range of her secondary battery when I do this, which does put me in grave danger with what I'm doing. Visually spotted. She's reverse sailing. I'm going to pop speed boost.
Engine boost active.
Drop the smoke.
Smoke generator started.
That's the back end of the ship. Knew it. And now what we can do is also drop, set in front of him,
Smoke screen set.
and that's gonna hurt. That's no death strike, but it's gonna hurt. Oh wow, it is a death strike. Oh, that was beautiful. Getting in that close was so dangerous, but it was so worth the play there. Pull back now. I'm gonna get so screwed. Actually, no, I'm still invis. That is beautiful there. That played out ever so perfectly. That's another battleship. Where is she? That's a Fuso. Rolling right into torpedo range. Hopefully she's paying a little bit more attention this time. Oh no.
Get back.
Up 2 sets. She's pulling right into my stealth range though, which I don't appreciate. Keeping yourself perfectly concealed is a great thing to do as a Fubuki. That Colorado is sailing out of range. That's going bow in now. Yep, there she goes. I feel so bad, but I don't really. This is like a game of perfect predictions. You have to be predicting ever so spot on. There's my speed boost gone, which is kind of sad. I'll pop a few shells in there. It will get rid of my stealth here for a bit, but I'm perfectly fine with that for the moment, because I am sailing into a Colorado, who I want to know I'm here. Because we'll drop 1 set, 2 sets, and we'll start to lead as well. So actually, us stealthily approaching this Colorado is something that is going to be hilarious. No destroyer knife fights is what I was hoping for. But this is like some big yield a big yield game with a Fubuki. There's going to be another set of torps dropped in. Actually, I won't need to worry about that. I already have a high cal. I'm not looking for the Kraken much. So what you also notice is I'm staying outside their cap. That's for the main reason that I'm going to, if I go into the cap, they know I'm there. And it ruins this element of surprise. That is another torpedo strike. I'm just pushing in for knife fights, really. But this aggression that allowed me to keep the enemy Colorado spotted and really push for most of my team here really helped out, giving me 4 battleships. The huge yield there early on is actually I want to put on. Yeah, they want me in the base. Okay, now that I've got a team pushing in here, especially on my end, I really don't need to worry too much. I have my torpedoes at the ready, and this enemy destroyer, if they close in, we'll be able to tell. Yeah, there's another set of torpedoes, so I know he's about here. It tells me also he's probably got maybe a minute, probably somewhere in between 40 seconds, 30 and 40 seconds for his next reload, for his next wide strike. So with that, we're going to push into where I'm going to widely assume he is, which is hanging out over here. I'm going to also drop in smoke here. Not for my own purpose, of course, but for the team. And speed boost as well. So he's running a stealth build. That's very clear. Ooh, appearing right across my bow. Nice fun. So here's the destroy knife fights I was looking for. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to... Yep, expected. Predicted. Good torpedoing beats. I don't need to worry about retreating. Yeah, because we won that. 143,000. That was a beautiful first game, honestly. The destroyer knife fight there was so worth going into. Not even really knife fighting other destroyers, but yeah, that leading the team up there with 4 kills. Easy reason why the Fubuki is possibly one of the best destroyers at Tier 5, and will probably stay like that for the foreseeable future. She's just really fun, mainly. A lot of Japanese torpedo boats have that. Oh, Makarov. Mikhail Kendrov. Kendrov is good. Now, anyways, but I don't have any Russian battleships yet. Mainly because I haven't been taking part in that entire Russia craze. I've gotten a few ships. Bundle I'm not really looking on going into. My opinion is Tashkent is actually going to be the way to go for me. And there's a few reasons, actually, because Tashkent's got a lot of things going for her. Her torpedoes, 3 tubes, like who I was just, except her torpedoes are normal. So she's basically a Japanese torpedo boat that's less focused on her torpedoes. And note, I'm not even going to probably take the starting system mod, and I'll probably go straight for the Akazuki. And the Akazuki, I know she doesn't have a torpedo boost, sadly. I wish she did. But you want to double up on steering gear here. That is a steering gear 1 and steering mod 2 is going to be so much, give you so much. The concealment, I can see people arguing for 10% concealment is good, but it's just not worth it in my opinion when you have the ability to take all the ability to dodge with extra torps. And torps being big yield in this case, which is amazing. And moving up to Kogero even, you'll see the same thing. If we go here, big yield. And then we'll also take steering gears, and this is where I'm actually going to take a torpedo launcher mod to help out, because the reload on Kogero being 101 seconds, so minute 41 is iffy, in my opinion. I mean, there's widely better torpedo reloads, especially when you're taking a look at what I'm playing here, Fubuki at Tier 5. We'll go on to... Well, actually... Yeah, I want to work up towards lightning anyway, so yeah, we'll do this. So close-up destroyer knife fighting is actually something that not a lot of players like to do. And I understand why. Many people aren't fans of finding out that a destroyer is right on your doorstep. I was one of them when I used to play a lot of battleships, and I still do play a lot of battleships, but I understand that when you understand how ships are reloading and what points they can be based on that, I should have expected the map my front, which I don't know why I didn't. Mainly because I was thinking they were sailing the other way, which would have been smart given the parameters and the prerogative of where my team was, but they don't know that at all. So we're going to appear in the Icarus next, and you'll note something very different. My torpedo range is significantly lessened, but that doesn't matter to me, because I get single fire 2x2, and that is absolutely amazing on a destroyer. Makes it very fun to play. And you'll note I also have a hydro, which is beautiful, especially doing the scouting job. And let's see, so we're going to first off get into cross up, spot our first targets, Colorado. Now you'll note she's way out of range compared to where
on the enemy warship.
this is where I could be hitting people normally last round, and now I have to play a lot less aggressive. And you know, sometimes it's just like that. You have to play a lot less aggressive on some destroyers to get the same kind of benefits out of them. But what Icarus really is in this case is going to be active spotting. So while I can use my guns aren't what I'm here for. I'm here mainly to A, keep the enemy spotted, and B, screw with battleships. And actually, I'm going to close, mainly because when we take a look at how this is looking out, we can easily kind of make smarter moves working to close the range.
All stations reporting the position of a strategic target.
And what we're going to do is we're also going to see where she's slowly drifting forward. So what that means is what we're going to do is we're going to close in ever so well paced, I should say. And we'll watch this, pop the smoke generator. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
And now that we're turning wide. And yes, I know I'm well in concealment out of my concealment range, which is gonna suck. Ow, that hurt. That's the Colorado for you, though. Colorados generally tend to hurt. And the prediction on the other side of the island, which is why I started sailing the other way.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
Drop both sets of torpedo tubes. And with that, we should be fine to continue what we're doing. I did lose a chunk of my health, which does cut my aggression here. But it was the same thing we did previously. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to cross up. And we're actually going to push this Colorado out of the cap very aggressively. After all, she notes I'm here. And I actually don't like how this is going to play out for me. I'm going to use that. Help the boy. What do you need me to do?
All stations concentrate fire on the target. Affirmative.
So there's that. And, I wasn't intending to. But what's really going on here is I'm ending up using concealment to your advantage, which is a very helpful thing on a destroyer. We can see an enemy team's Benson, who would absolutely abuse me as a gunboat. So we're down a cruiser and a destroyer to their one battleship. And me being in a semi-vulnerable position, I'm going to decide to A, stick with these two battleships. Mainly because they're going to provide me a lot of cover. Back up. Yep, there we go. As we watch here, you'll see we're going to sail towards this Colorado. Provide him with close support. And that close support will be the smoke screen. Yeah, that open enemy flank, we really didn't get much out of this one. Yeah, there goes the Mutsu. But yeah, if we just keep this up here, we should be perfectly fine, honestly. In all honesty, to help out. Gnazna, you're kind of on your own. You're out of position, but I will... At least he realizes he's out of position. So what we're watching behind me is our team's destroyers and cruisers. Well, another battleship and a cruiser. I'm the only destroyer left for my team, which means I have to play extra careful. Meaning I can't do stupid things. And I will probably try to do stupid things, honestly. Helping the battleship and cruiser push into the cap here. Hopefully this guy now realizes he's getting torped, which it looks like he does. I have a cruiser coming up on the broadside, glass. So I have support here going in. And just to make sure I can get help out here while I'm doing this. Also letting my cruiser and the battleship behind me know where I'm going. And that'll help out mainly because when I'm pushing in aggressively here, it's going to cause... With me pushing in aggressively, I need to know, let my knives now and my other ships know that, hey, look, I'm coming in to help support you. And for this knives now, it's not really needed. She's at perfectly fine health, but the rest of the team here, the bundle A, really out of position. Nothing's really going to end up in my torpedo range, sadly. Whitehead torpedoes are iffy. I don't like them. But yeah, pushing into the cap here. Use the island, and we can pop a hydro. Hydroacoustic gets us the spot. Predicted need for him. Pop this smoke here. Help get ships across the cap. And Navy. I have to fire. Got it. Nice. Shores to the front. I'm looking to be blown up here. Fubuki. Severely outguns me here. The only nice part is I do have the hydroacoustic to help keep her in line. Torpedoes on my other side, nice. So now I am the only destroyer here, and I have a lot of power in doing what I'm doing. So see, I'm giving support to this battleship here, who is going to desperately need it. And I'm about to get hard hit. Using the bow there, I can prevent a lot of that, though. What we're going to end up doing, though, is pushing into the glass. So don't need to worry too much about her. Pop the smoke to keep the battleship and myself safe. We're also going to switch to widespread. That just tells me that glass has got me. Nice, now secondary got her. My secondary, I'm holding on to dear life, though, and I don't have much to help out with that. I'm going to push up front in front of the shores to kind of cut them off. If that works, we'll be in a better position overall. And if I don't manage to pull it off, this Kanai is now, depending on how much health she's got, which is limited. like my own. I do have a battleship pushing in my rear. What my main goal is to do is get rid of a lot of the things with torpedoes, though, for my cruiser. Well, for my battleships. And I do have 2 battleships I have to support here. So yeah. While gunfire would normally be the chosen option, I don't have a lot of stealth. So for that, I'm going to cross over in front of the Gneisenau and work on supporting her with smokescreen.
Smoke generator starting.
1, 2, 3 puffs, and she's already going to be out of it. 8 kilometers. And that's one thing you'll note, is that British destroyers don't have the best consumables. In fact, yeah, there goes that battleship I was working on supporting, which leaves me out here defenseless. But what I do have here are torpedo spreads. And thank you, that'll take me a bit to recover. Mainly noting that this cruiser has hydro, and I was trying to get rid of that. And this Colorado is turning towards me, putting me in a horrible position. Yeah, very horrible. Start to reverse immediately. I'm already spotted, and this is probably game for me. Yeah, there's my game. Gone. Drop the smoke screen. Protect myself, and I'm gone. Yeah, there wasn't much I could do about that. 2,000 damage, got rid of both enemy destroyers, so not like that's going to help me out much. Colorado versus Bairn. Bairn has this weighted in her favor right now dramatically. Her Citadel lies lower in the water, so we aren't going to see much of a save there. So yeah, let's see what we get next to. I do like the Fubuki, but we want to go with something more fun. So let's go with the Firestarter herself. AP Monster also sounds nice, though. And yes, the only reason I'm playing this tier is to go up to Lightning. Lightning's just got a lot of fun built into her innately. Those guns, first off, 2 quad launchers, and a 3rd gun. Of course, we could also pursue the cruiser line, or we can go the big ship line. Innately, I might just go and finish to get York soon, and then move straight up to Hipper. Hipper right now is the better of the 2, sadly, of the Hipper class we have. So yeah, let's actually get right into it. We're going to go Dunkirk. We've had some fun with small guns, and now we're going to work towards the big guns. And the only way I can see having fun with that is going Dunkirk. Dunkirk and Jean Bart have some of the best... Well, I shouldn't say some of the best, but out of the options we have currently, which honestly is limiting, Dunkirk has some of the most fun guns at this tier. Tier 5 has a few, and we're on neighbors, so... Ooh. This can actually be interesting. So... we could have either a very good time, or get eaten alive. But what I have noticed a lot with this update recently is that turrets are so prone to breaking, especially on these French battleships, and I know that French quad mount turrets are squishy. So, with that, let's just start it up. So we are on the sea cap, which gives us this forward island here to really work in and cover. But what I really need is this. Do we not have a destroyer over here? We do not. We should. Yeah. So first off, I'm going to do is request destroyer support. So when I'm doing this, I want the destroyer to screen for me, and hopefully he will. Yeah, because I've already been spotted. And that was an it small. Oh, fun. Yeah. We'll fire that way, and we're also going to we're going to turn ourselves around. Yeah, we ricocheted, that was expected. I'm going to turn around here. And set our nose in. So while the front of that island is blocking, that's a Pitovnetsky. That does look like a juicy target. He is angled, though, to the point where I actually need to step into the cap to deal with the Kirov, who is actually coming to me. Quite beautifully, in fact. That's pre-aimed a little too much, but I'll be fine. There is an eady in this area. You can tell at the smoke screen. It's a T-22, which is bad for me. But what's also nice is I have reload, and this T-22 won't be much longer for this world. If my secondary guns would like to help out, I'm also going to start turning away. So this early game intelligence is nice for them, but that destroyer is no longer for this world. And neither will this Kirov. I overpredicted that. See, this Pitovnetsky is now on target for me. And I'm going to take one of these torpedoes. Well, two of these torpedoes. Help mitigate some of the damage there. We're going to start bowing in. Pitovnetsky is a fun battleship to get in close-up duels with, mainly with this current equipment set. And you'll see enemy teams already lost a destroyer and a cruiser, and they're going to lose their second cruiser soon. And I'm already okay. I've apparently closed concealment. It's interesting. Oh, that's a Königsberg, and yeah, that was good angling. She can burst my. She can still damage me through my front plate, but she can't citadel me through it. So what I was trying to do is work with the front plate to reflect a lot of that. Actually, I'm going to start slowing down here. There goes their second. They've already lost their second cruiser. I'm pushing slowly towards her. This destroyer actually can point ahead of me, mainly because he'll have torpedoes and draw that gun for me. So this is what you call using your teammates to your advantage here. I do feel bad. I don't want this Farragut, who helped me out here already, with spotting that T-22 to just get eaten up. So I'm going to start accelerating now to full. This gunboat is desperately trying, and I can clearly see that, so I'm going to come in and help him. I don't want to lose the Farragut here. And closing in. Oh, yeah, beautiful Farragut. Taking out. So yeah, this destroyer is actually so helpful with dealing with Peter Volinsky. Me drawing her originally was a point to deal with her. Now we have a Königsberg sailing against me, so the direction is really what matters here. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the turrets forward, and we don't need to worry much about where she's going because she'll soon be under. Or, never mind, French dispersion. What is nice is that she is remaining in spotting range, so I can just keep her constantly in my eyes. And now normally you would do stuff like this, if you had torpedoes, you could use torpedoes on a battleship, like the Tirpitz to, yeah, I'm overpenning, on a light cruiser her size. So we actually have to, I want to go in and support this other flank. Which is why I'm starting to cross. Work my way across the map, and I'm going to put you the end in. And I'm actually perfectly fine to stay spotted right now. Mainly because that Königsberg isn't long for this world. That, and I'm out of range of all the enemy team's other battleships. So I'm not putting myself in any danger doing this. I have a destroyer on one side and a cruiser on the other. And that Königsberg is gone. I don't need to work to finish her off. My front forward battery is better saved. Yeah, there she goes. So we have a Bayern and an Itzmal left. And there goes another Itzmal. That Itzmal actually had a Peter Volinsky. So yeah, that was one loss. And we'll work towards Bayern, who is sailing in reverse. Or that's forward, I can't tell. It looks to be reverse. Yeah, she's reversing. Which does make her rear end an easy citadel. I'm going to switch to HE. And she's actually starting to sail forward now. And this is a wise choice for me to switch to HE, because I can't pen her plates normally with AP. That are all ricochet. So it is safer to pull this, because if you don't know, HE doesn't care about your armor or the angle it comes in from. It just cares that it hits. So one hit, it's a penetration, and it explodes. As long as it's landing somewhere relatively around you, you're fine. That, and he's not showing me broadside anyways, and now I'm finally spotted. Give me that first fire, which is actually, I think, from the penetration. That or it was from the shatter. One of the two. Battleships left, which is kind of bad for me. I wanted more damage, really. But early level of not trying to be aggressive, really, and letting... Oh wow, that Itzmal just ate a cruiser. And that Itzmal is in a good position to start targeting. Note, I did the wrong by switching to HE, well, from HE to AP, because of our angling. But this Baron is still perfectly fine at this point to go for with AP now. So we're gonna start aiming ahead of that. It's small fire, and I'm actually keeping both these guys in range, which is beautiful for me because they can't do much about the damage. And you'll note I will overpen a few times, and that's just because of how my Dunkirk is built. We'll pop the aircraft. We don't have too much to worry about now, but it'll be nice if they hiding behind an island, I don't get the destroyer spotting them. I can spot them with my aircraft. That Baron, however, is in quite a pickle. Being this close to a Dunkirk and at and a full broadside. Sadly, I can't pen a citadel, but I can definitely do a lot of damage. And what we do notice that Itzmal is sitting and reversing, which means we close the gun to there, and we fire it, and we get a hit. It's a ricochet, but oof. The Baron is crossing back in front of us again, and you'll note he's got about as many guns as me, except he's got to show his broadside, which means I can bounce a lot of his shells, pop the heal, because I still kept all of my heals, except the one I had to pop early on for the destroyer. But yeah, this Baron isn't long for this world. 3 pens. I'm being aggressive as I can be right now, mainly because I'm a battleship with all my guns forward. I don't need to worry about too much. Yeah, you heard that shell bounce. Those guns there. Oh wow, ricochet. And that Baron's low. Baron will be my first target. Itzmal outguns me, which could make her more of a pressing target, except I don't need to worry about her. She's got smaller caliber guns than Baron. So Baron is really the greater threat. And this Baron should go down, but she isn't, which is irritating. But she is eating a lot of damage for me. So it is nice. If I don't get this angling right, I'm gonna instantly put that fire out. Start putting the bow in. Yep, this is gonna be a trade. Nope, I'm not trading with you. Sorry. I said another ship sink. And you see here, our heal comes back online. In 2 and 1, and the heal's back online, and we still have our guns, and we're fine. Let's take another hit. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't expect the fire to instantly kill me. And you'll note this destroyer that came all the way along with me is actually in a very, sure he's low, 3,000 HP, but he can do a lot from the position he's working from until he gets HE'd. Both frigates are pushing in. Note, they're not going to do much except shatter. But I'm actually more interested in these torpedoes. This forward set's going to expire, and so is that back set. This frigate is about to be... Actually, no, it's going for the cruiser. Who's sailing in? And this cruiser isn't going... he's going to hit. No, wow, short. And we'll see that this battle is going to end. We are going to win if these two teammates play it smart. 14 seconds, guns aren't going to reload fast enough. And yeah, that's a win for us here. And 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a win. 2 sinks for me on a battleship. And we'll see how this goes next. So, we'll see here. Second on the leaderboard. That New Mexico did excellent. That was amazing plays by them. So, yeah, I'll give it. And let's go over to the fire starter herself. So the Atlanta is actually going to be fun here. She's got a lot of firepower to bring. Light cruiser, and you'll be surprised on what she can hit and overpen. Well, what she can penetrate if you have to switch to your AP, which you shouldn't need to often. And note the word choice there is often, because of how much you're going to do with straight fire setting. And you'll note I have a lot of guns. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. But I don't have a large HP pool. But I do get hydro and a surveillance radar. So nothing should come up close to surprise me, and if they do, I have torpedoes to deal with it. So with that, let's get going. So an ACAT push here would be quite a common sight, but I'm going to push into the ACAP and hide right against this island. And what that does here for my team is allows them to... I can use myself as a floating information base, basically. And it kind of works like Baltimore. Well, not Baltimore, but like the Des Moines and a lot of other radar cruisers work on PC. So what is actually going to happen is my 5-inch guns can pen just about 2.5, 3 inches armor. So I don't need to worry too much about what comes in. And actually what you'll note here is I'm going to not fire my guns because A, I'm not being spotted. And now is a good time to do it, because I'm behind an island and I'm being spotted by aircraft. Oof, that's gonna suck. Hit the island. But now what you'll note is I can go in and pop the Hydra. Because I feel there's a destroyer in here. With me, in fact, I know there is. Hydroacoustic will let me know, and yes, I already know what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm using this island to set up an ambush. So you'll see here the anti-aircraft guns blazing, making sure that the Spey can't do much to do me in. And there's that Akatsuki I thought was here. And see, where we're set up right now, these enemies can't do much to me. Of course, I can't do much to them either. Besides pester their aircraft movements. And this here will remain contested, and I can keep my stuff up. The kid here really irritated the fact that I'm sitting here when I could be doing other things. This get a Spey though, you'll note, is starting to get ready to come around the island. When my Hydra runs out, we'll pop the surveillance radar. See, now she's too afraid to move. And that Colorado, working to come around, and thinks he'll be able to. I'm going to slowly back out, actually, just a touch. And to deal the battleship some common courtesies, we're going to sit here and pester him. What you will note is he's sitting right there. And so is the spay coming around the island. Except guess what? Now we can start moving forward, and she can't do much about that, can she? Her guns are already on fire, and she's taken 3 torpedoes, and she's not long for this world, is she? What you'll note is my teammate guns are down. So me being here is actually a great asset to the team. Mainly because I'm able to spot torpedoes for my team, but I'm also acting as a massive battery for the enemy team that can't do much about me. I'm set up here, the Hydro is ready, the Akatsuki is in front of me, so is a Colorado, but neither one of them can do much to stop me from being here. And you'll note that the loss of one destroyer there isn't enough to deter me. I'm just going to sit here and let them do what they're going to do, because these destroyers and this battleship can't do much against me being here. You have to come on our side of the map and push me, which neither one of them want to do. In fact, this Akatsuki is anything for it. Well, but against it. And as we push out around the island now, because we are in a perfectly safe position to do so, we are going to watch an Akatsuki and a Colorado melt away. See, most of our health melted away there, but she's gone. Pop the Hydro. It'd be useful. The Akatsuki here is still within Hydro, so yeah, she's about to lose her life. And much in a way she didn't expect to. So yeah, we just solo contested that entire cap. And while it did cost me a lot in terms of my HP pool, it was so worth it, mainly because now I'm in a more competitive position to hold against the enemy team. I have a sunk battleship at my bow. Only did 34,000 damage. Not looking to do too much with it. But what I am using this here for is a position to help my team after I cap, which I got another 18 seconds on. And no, this isn't how people normally like to play this Firestarter. I prefer her as a radar cruiser, which is what she was originally intended to be as an anti-aircraft cruiser. But the role that I'm putting in here greatly benefits from the use of the radar and the Hydro. And note, I lost my Hydro. So now it's time to back up. We'll swing the bow forward and back around. And that will give us a lot of points to play with here. Our torpedo range isn't anything to smirk at. In fact, knowing the Sitsmal knows where I am is terrifying. And noting that anything that spots me is probably going to want to eat me alive is totally not okay. Especially knowing those guns are ready. Time to play the Firestarter how most people like to play her. And I'm probably going to pay for that. Mainly because I don't have the HP pool for it, like normal. But yeah, we'll see. Uh, she expended my fires. It kind of sucks. The Baron there doesn't really have much to do. What they did, what this ended up costing them, for one cruiser and two destroyers, because my destroyers were being over aggressive, and I should have informed them of that. Me sitting there playing radar was what is the smart choice. Was a lot worth more to us than it was to them. They lost to Colorado to an over aggressive destroyer and myself, but we won't really worry about what I did there, because all I did was sit there being annoying, being a giant annoyance. I cost them their get spay because their spay pushed way too far up, namely being aggressive. And yeah, it's how you screw with a lot of cruisers and destroy, well, a lot of ships who think they can afford to push you. And with that, we'll go over to the Pensacola and do the same thing at Tier 5. And you will note here's the difference is I'm actually going to load AP a lot more. And that's because American AP is superb, especially with guns like the Pensacola's. And her dispersion is absolutely absurd. So what it does is it means we don't need to worry much about anything we're aiming for. And it'll just play perfectly fine. We're on neighbors again. Capture the base. And these teams seem fairly well aligned.
Action stations.
So I'd first like to note, one thing is we don't want to say that a destroyer like the Pensacola has armor. Well, a cruiser like the Pensacola has armor, because it's so paper thin. That was supposed to be armor. That a lot of angling and going bow in isn't worth it. In fact, a lot of your gunning is going to be kiting. And note here, you already know it, I'm firing off my AP. This shores is completely out of position. And it's going to cost me a ricochet, of course. A bow miracle. Going to pen through her bow. What I'm going to do here about this is, as you'll see there, I'm going to eat citadels. And that's mainly because anyone who knows anything about early US cruisers knows that their armor is non-existent.
Critical engine damage.
And everyone likes to eat it. And you'd hope for that something would come out of it, but no, instead it comes out as a paper-thin cruiser who can't do what what you want her to do. Well, you'll notice I'm immobilized here, so I have to continue constantly swinging back and forth as my speed constantly drops. But you will note here is the drastic number of citadels I can get. Getting all 12 guns to bear. This Miyoko's got to go bow in. She doesn't want to eat another citadel, and I don't want to eat another huge devastating strike. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, just mainly to recover. And it's going to take me a while to speed up, so slight adjustments there. And there's another 2 citadels, as you'll see. Actually, a lot of that was over pens, which is kind of sad. There goes my cruiser immediately. And that's actually kind of to be expected a lot out of Pensacola, but if we move up a tier, what we will notice at tier 6 with the New Orleans, if we take a look at her armor, it would be survivability. We have a lot more armor. Like, drastically a lot more armor. And it'll be a lot more beneficial to angle in this case. Because instead of taking stuff like the Pensacola does, we instead take it like any cruiser can. So we'll ricochet stuff, we'll push a lot of damage out, and that's primarily because New Orleans has great American AP penetration, like I've said before. That akin to some of the more notable cruisers. Well, that of the Baltimore, basically, which is the tier above this. And that AP is just absolutely devastating. But we will notice we will get a lot of overpens for it. And America's got decent what's the word I'm looking for? Decent HE. But it's nowhere near Japanese HE. And you'll note, I'm not a radar cruiser. In fact, if you're calling the New Orleans a radar cruiser, I might at some point have called you insane. Because, A, we have hydroacoustic, and we have an aircraft. And New Orleans is known for the amount of DPM she can put out. Increase the full. You'll see we already have friendly aircraft up in the sky around us. And what I really want is just, we don't even have a destroyer, okay. Yeah, because I'm not playing in so close to where I can be easily citadeled. That's the job of many other cruisers. Mainly named Belfast and ships of that liking. Right, Queen Elizabeth and the Fiji. Fiji is the one who traditionally, in this case, go on spotting. Now what you will notice is I'm going to put all my guns already. And you'll see there's the bouncing that I was talking about already. And ow! Okay, yeah. That bouncing also doesn't work when you're on your own ship. And you will also notice that I'm getting frankly eaten alive being in open water with no smoke cover. There's not much I can do about that, besides take another hit and sink. And we might hit this bundle away. No, we don't. Yeah, that was kind of a bad play on my end. Nelson or Hood, Nelson or Hood. Let's play the Hood. And I know I could have played the 16-inch guns though, which would have been an absolutely fun play, especially since all those guns are forward. But I don't see getting much use out of them. But yeah, with that in mind, we're going to go and get ready to be an absolutely devastating force. So yeah, let's just get this into a perfect position. We're going in towards A currently. I don't want to, primarily because A, I'm a hood, and B, I'm a huge target. You'll note my concealment is just barely at the border of my gun range. And I don't know whether if that's because Hood's so famous, or Hood's just that big a target. I would like to say it's because the Hood's so famous, but no, you're just that big a target. 14-inch guns. Oh my god, 15-inch guns. No, it is the 14. The 14-inch guns are nice. Enemy Jean Bart. That's a York. And you are really built to punish cruisers like this. I think I overaimed that. Yeah, I did. The Hipper is over there. York's holding right out of my range, so is the Bismarck. And you'll note, I'm a battleship with Hydro. Which means there's a lot I can do. There's also a lot I don't want to do. Playing overly aggressive is one of those things. Which is why I'm trying to remove these onboard turrets. To no great effect. You'll note there's an Algeray over there I'm not going to try to tangle with. And even though I'm built to screw with cruisers, I'm not going to tangle with them much. In fact, a lot of the big targets are a lot more fun for something like me. They lost in Edinburgh, Minsk to Edinburgh, which is nice. Means I can work on conserving. Oh, we have a Bismarck. Why do I feel a fateful duel coming on? 13 kilometers, Bismarck turns in. I overshot because I was pre-aiming for the previous course. Jean Bart, on the other hand, is roaring in at this range. And we have an over-aggressive battleship. Of course, they also have an over-aggressive battleship, which I'm going to punish severely for her being so over-aggressive. Their Bismarck sunk our Bismarck. My secondary guns are finally coming to play. And what you'll notice here is I'm actually going to aim for the cheek here. And that cheek is because there's such thin plating there anyways, that when I'm aiming, I should be perfectly fine. The Jean Bart, on the other hand, isn't going to be. Her traverse is too slow, and while she does have a reload booster, I'm not worried about it. She's gone. And I didn't need to fire that heavily. And what you're also going to notice here is I'm going to start to bow in, because I can keep my rear turrets still perfectly fine. And with that, I'll be able to start to swing. And some turtle back here. Doesn't mean much. We're not going to put that out. See, playing and brawling here at close range is fun. Especially on the hood. And no, I'm going to win this brawl purely out of good intention. If my guns actually would like to properly work, that'd be nice. Showing broadside wasn't the smartest idea. In all honesty, it's probably one of the worst. And my AP is severely lacking for it. Come on, give me that Citadel. I know you have one. Oh. There we go! Secondaries finally caused it. 85,000 damage, 2 close-up brawls, but the brawling there is so worth it. It's what I'm supposed to be doing, frankly, at that range. And I have nothing better to do, really. You'll see here, there's an Edinburgh. I cost myself being a battleship, but 85,000 damage is nothing to scoff at on a hood. Especially at a point-blank duel with a secondary build battleship when you're not necessarily meant to be built that way. Hood, though, I have built as a secondary battleship as kind of a necessity because secondary battleships are a better playstyle right now. What we're going to see here is this Alabama, because this Alabama actually is going to have some fun here. This Alabama is going to be able to cause a lot of pressure to this Bismarck and this Hipper. Hipper isn't his primary concern. It should actually be the Bismarck. And if I'm eyeing that correct, he's got his priority right. Yep, there's that first shot. 16 shells cross the bow but don't hit. What we see here is a York on his other broadside, and we'll actually go to aerial view here. So, looking over here, we have a Bismarck holding fairly well, but what you'll also see here is the Alabama is on fire. This Alabama isn't looking so good. Bismarck takes another salvo, bow in, doesn't do much. Bismarck, on the other hand, is dealing with Alabama just about as normal, and we might actually see a ramming action here. Closing into 2 kilometers. Oh, we might actually see a drive-by. Is this Bismarck about to drive by? It looks like she's about to. A drive-by on the Alabama. She's going to eat torpedoes for it. 2 and 3 and 4. Get rid of her. The Alabama is now targeting onto the York, who seems to be sitting generally still. Ooh, just a little long. That dispersion really screwed it with her. Oh. So what we're going to see here is this Alabama going quickly. Well, a lot of these ships go to quickly move into position to finish off this York. Edinburgh is the most likely candidate to do that. So yeah, guys, right after this York finishes up here, well, after this York is finished off here, we might be, we'll see the end of the stream for maybe about an hour, and then I'll be back and live streaming again to have all the fun in the world. So that's an AP salvo, because that's all Edinburgh can load. AP with flare, which is kind of nice. That York is gone in the next salvo, and there goes the York. So we'll see how he placed. 2 kills. And that 2 kills puts us, we're on the leaderboard. Besides a rank up in the milestones, which I really don't care about. Puts us 3rd on the leaderboard. That Edinburgh did amazing, so that doesn't surprise me. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the stream for probably about an hour, and then we will be back again.